What's up, guys? Mr. Fetty here. Today's gonna be another new LEGO set review, and it's nice LEGO Star Wars set, which is part of the Microfighters sub-theme, which is called Clone Turbo Tank. And this set came out in 2014. Set number is 75028, has 96 pieces, and is for ages 6 to 12. I don't have the box of this set, but I have the instruction manual, which has a total of 29 pages to build. Alright, so first up is the minifigure, and it's this old, Phase 2 clone trooper, which is the regular, Phase 2 clone trooper, which, kind of explains that it didn't have, any, color markings on it, and this is, the one from the 2014, LEGO Star Wars sets, and possibly, up until, I think around the 2020s, and yeah, this is actually, a really, great minifigure, and pretty much, the nicest looking, Phase 2 clone trooper minifigure, because, the much nicer, helmet, the pretty nice printing by the front, legs, and the back, and classic old angry clone face. So yeah, especially that the helmet here is completely different. Like, compare these two, the difference is day and night. Like, this one's look nicer than the current Phase 2 clone trooper. Like even for the it wasn't somewhat accurate by the 2014 one. Well, this one's a bit accurate, but it's got a little bit kind of the kind of a little screwed up by the the helmet holes, which kind of explains why I had covered them with this visor accessory. So yeah, and yeah, and also yeah, it's kind of a little bit the same, by the back of the helmets, but by the front, yeah, completely different. So yeah, and also you know the the Phase 2 clone trooper has the classic old blaster, which has been used since I think the mid 2000s, where they been first released for every trooper minifigure. So yeah, so Phase 2 clone trooper, pretty good minifigure, and pretty much looks nicer than this. And also has the black the black on the for I think the waist, while the current Phase 2 clone trooper has the white hips, while this one has black hips. So yeah, now for the Microfighter itself, which is basically the classic old clone turbo tank, aka Juggernaut, but it's always been called clone turbo tank since. Yeah, this is surprisingly nice, and possibly this is the nicest looking Microfighter compared to the other clone theme Microfighter that came out recently, which is I think last year, which is the Captain Rex one. But here, this is actually, looks nice, and you can roll it around, not since not all Microfighters always have the rolling feature, and has the classic old fire missiles, which it's looks it's just kind of somewhat fun to play with these, and there's some details on the back of it has, there's four, whoops, let me fix that. Okay, there we go. The four, cheese slope pieces, and yeah, this is almost accurate to how it looks in, Revenge of the Sith, and I think other, I think in the 08 Clone Wars TV series, which I think has this vehicle. And yeah, and also pretty interesting, detail of these binocular pieces make it look like little turrets for to shoot out. And here's the bottom, which this is how the wheels are connected. And also this lever piece, which kind of makes it look like a command post thingy, or like a like the radar thing to like check things and checking, like droids and other stuff. So yeah, and there's a seat for the Phase 2 clone trooper to ride on, and yeah, this is this is it fits comfortably. So yeah, and there's like 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 exposed studs right there, which should have been better if it's like been covered up, but I think it works as like a little thin little platform for any clone trooper to like stand on, and like having a double dash moment, have like the two drivers like controlling just one vehicle and like shooting down like battle droids and such. So yeah, where this this current Phase 2 clone trooper looks good, but this one looks nice. Yes, this is like this came out in 2014, and they actually nailed this the design of the Phase 2 clone trooper than like in the current one. And yeah, and there's like it's mostly just all light gray and dark gray with like some red, like there's like a total of 4 dark red pieces, which it's kind of like it's like a Republic vehicle, which yeah, and there's like grill pieces on each side of the back of the Microfighter, and yeah, this is, and also it's pretty fun to like roll around. Like imagine like mowing down battle droids with this, or just like have like a nice duel between this and like any rival vehicle to battle with on wheels, or like another rolling vehicle, which kind of have like the same size as this, as this the clone turbo tank Microfighter. So yeah. Alright, so final thoughts on this Microfighter set. It's surprisingly great, and possibly I like it a bit more than the Catch and Rex Microfighter set have already reviewed. Like, man, this is like really nice, especially the minifigure here is actually possibly like the nicest looking Phase 2 clone trooper than the current one from like newer sets. So yeah, especially these little lines are a bit more darkened, while this one has like the blue on it, which kind of makes it a little bit more pop out more, and also details like right by here compared to the one from the 2014 wave of Lego Star Wars sets is surprisingly interesting. Like even though it's like less detailed, but it's actually look nicer by the helmet. So yeah. All right, let me move this aside. So yeah, as for the ranking on the set, I'll just give it a really amazing 10 out of 10, since this is actually a really great Microfighter set, especially the possibly the best looking clone trooper, the Phase 2 armor to be exact, for this wave. Like it looks nicer, even if it's like a bit inaccurate, but it looks nicer than this. So yeah, and also the the way to roll it, and also how the flicker missiles worked is surprisingly good. So yeah, and yeah, and also the way like the wheels are built is actually pretty creative, and yeah, this is actually cheap way to get like a clone turbo tank in this size. Even though it's like recently it's been becoming a bit more expensive, but luckily I found this at Brickheads during my vacation at a somewhat of a decent price, even if it's still a bit too expensive, since these used to be like this set used to be $10 on like alongside like other old Microfighter sets, but now they're kind of a bit more expensive because more desirable minifigures and these sets are pretty much like, discontinued, after like a few years. So yeah. All right. So I just hope you guys enjoy my review on the Lego Star Wars set, part of the Microfighters sub theme, Clone Turbo Tank. So like and comment this video and subscribe more content. So this is Mr. Freddy here, and I hope you have a very good day. So bye.